Right, so it's another day, it's Sunday. I've got a makeshift bench on the go. So I started to collect up all the rose joints and spherical bearings I could find so that I can make some arms and bits and bobs for this car. I've also got some on here that I can pinch, some like spherical bearing P-bush things that I made. I'll pinch all the sphericals and all the rose joints off of that. Started to clean up the shocks. These are actually as low as they'll go already. So I'm just going to wait until I start making a cage and then figure out how the fronts are going to fit. The rears, they're a lot easier. Literally just some like plate off of here with, you'll get the idea when I make it, but yeah, easy. Could just mount straight off of this box, so that's easy. And also it will tie into the sheet metal that'll be here. So yeah, that's nothing to worry about. Also, I got like the sunroof out, the windscreen out. I think I already told you all this. Like, cool AF dimple dyed from the factory. So yeah, the idea is to carry on stripping this. I did think maybe I'd leave all the subframes and everything until I'd made the shock mounts. But to be honest, I may as well just get on and start welding up all the bits and pieces. Yeah, need a bit of finish welding. Some bits like down in those corners, and then like underneath there's a few bits and bobs, and weld these plates in. Get these rear lights out. Need to get those lights out. So I've also dug out this morning a set of rear adjustable arms. The ones on the Skyline, which is up there on the garden. The ones on the Skyline are actually some brand called Godspeed. Got them from DB Power and an SX Owners Club group by years ago. And then these were off of my S14 Daily, which was a fairly cool car, to be honest. Yeah, this is off my S14 Daily. To be honest, even with these boots on, I've noticed that there's quite a lot of rust on the rose joints, so I think they're going to get replaced. But I will measure and I will make a list and I'll do some ordering. So I'll replace all them. I'm not going to go too mad stripping this down at the moment. I think I'm going to try and order everything I need to get this rear end done ASAP. I'm going to pile a lot of this in the car so that I can get the subframe up on the bench. I'm going to start on the rear, get the rear out, get it all up on axle stands, and we'll go from there. Okie dokie. Oh, that's been a while. You've missed this, haven't you? You've missed this. There she is. Well, I'm going to attempt to get that up here. I'm not going to film it because I'm probably going to do my back in, and then I'm going to call it a day after that. Quick explanation of what's going on, and then that'll be it. Right, so as you can see, I've got the subframe on the bench, got it upside down. It's actually really easy to get up. I just lifted one end up at a time. You can see where I ground away to get some clearance. Now, this would actually work. It's not actually unsafe and it wouldn't fall apart and it's all rigid and blah blah. Probably only need like another mil or so of grinding and it would be perfect. But it's something I want to do, and I'm going to do, which will be a massive upgrade, is so if you can imagine there was a rose joint out here, or even maybe a spherical bearing, that would give me a huge amount more clearance, wouldn't it? Because it's much narrower. But the plan So this is a really similar rear suspension layout to an RS200. Yes, this is a really similar suspension layout to an RS200. Now, the only difference with an RS200 is it has a tow arm on the back that connects to the bottom of the upright and goes into a bracket at the bottom of the back of the subframe, which has a long bolt, and we have spacers so we can adjust the pickup height, thus adjusting bump steer. So what my plan is, I'll use a big rose joint on the outboard, which is a big no-no, but I'll use one big enough that it won't be a problem. Something like this, M18. It's a big no-no to put a rose joint on the outside, because every time you get on the accelerator, every time you use the accelerator or the brake, it puts a bending force across the threads. But on the rallycross cars at work, we're running 600 horsepower over massive jumps. We use like M20s or something on the outboard with no trouble at all. So I think M18 rose joint on the outside. This will give you adjustment in and out for camber or track width, because I use the upper arm for camber. And then on the inboard side, I'm going to use sphericals on here, this bush and this bush, and then let me find a bit of tube. So that'll be across there like that, tube, and then this one will come across here like that, and then over here we will have a tow arm that will connect to this side of the upright and to the pocket that will be on the back. So it'll be a tow arm basically. I may tweak the setup slightly, and then between here, because I'm going to lose the adjustment on the camber bolts here, between here on an RS200 there's like a bar joining the two, so your bolt goes through in and threads into the bar, and your bolt goes through, threads into the bar, and that ties these 2 points in together. I believe I've got more than enough room to do that, because it's all, you know, it's out of the way of the drive shafts, it's out of the way of the exhaust, so I think that's what I'll do. But I've just got to play around with the design, the layout. That'll go across there. Think about, obviously I've got to think about how the shock's still going to mount. Alternatively, I could do it the other way, so it would be bar like that, and then the toe control will be on the front. To do the toe on the front of the subframe. Just got the transmission tunnel and the gearbox itself out, and that's basically all. Just pop them over here. That's all I'm going to do for today. Going to call it a day, going to go home and relax, drink some cider. Anyway, see you next time.